Yeah.
Yeah, welcome. For the last time before Dick's, we're gonna do one more show.
Yeah, and it ends up it's me and you. We're like the last soldier standing.
The last two East Coast members of Wook
Right.
Plus, by the way, which I find funny. Um, what'd you think? Good show, right? It was fun.
That's fantastic. I love a Mike's opener. I was really hoping they do hydrogen, but hey, how do you go wrong with
Yeah, I think you get the traditional groove, right? Mike's groove so often that the unique stuff seems exciting, but after one or two of those, when you go back to hearing it with hydrogen, you realize why it's like that in the first place because it's the
right,
most perfect iteration. I thought
right.
that when did they do the contact? That was maybe New Year's right before the pandemic. They did the Mike's groove with the contact instead of hydrogen.
Right.
It
Yeah.
was cool, but like I don't know. But so this one, Man Who Stepped in Yesterday, filled that spot with Avine Makeyunu. I
Right.
don't know if I'm pronouncing that right.
Is today the first day of Rosh Hashanah?
I think it's Tuesday,
Tuesday
Monday or
is okay.
Tuesday.
I see. I thought maybe that had something to do with it.
It might be. I don't know actually why,
I
but I think
don't
it's a really cool combination. The Man Who Stepped in Yesterday into Avinu, and I think it works well in that ballad spot, that in the middle of the groove spot.
Right. And it dropped right into it was like 30 seconds, after Alvinu Make knew before we got the Weekapa.
Right, which
None of the Mike songs Weekapas this tour have gone next level. They've all been solid, and it seems well placed when they've done them, but none of them have ever, I
they
don't
haven't
think,
been the
gone.
highlight, but do you think that's because they've been subpar because the jams in these shows have been so good? Right?
It
Because the
seems
one
like
I'm
certain,
thinking of was the
right.
AC Mike's Groove, but that show was head to
The,
toe just a great show.
right.
So
The stars have been like Mr. Completely and Bathtub and Tweezers and
yeah. And then some
and
weird like the Haleys or Birds of a
um,
Feather from Hershey.
yeah, right. And the MoMA had that nice jam in AC. Um,
But
right. So what do we get after Weekapa? Where do we go?
yeah, so bringing it back to the show, we're actually here to discuss. Then we had this beautiful Brian and Robert,
Oh,
which
right.
is a
Yes, I
very
love that.
emotional song, right? No
You
matter
love
when they
it,
play it, I fucking love it. And then Thread, which I
right?
have been very outspoken about because I love
You
that song.
and they should have held with that one in their back pocket.
Yeah, they really should have, but that's all right. Um, then the Wedge, fairly standard, right?
Right.
Didn't really go
It's
anywhere,
never
but
never been one of my. People love the Wedge, and I'm like, it's all right.
Wedge for me is the like doing chores or like working around the house and I just have it stuck in my head humming. Like I'm always like bobbing on the surface. You know what I mean? Like it's just like
Right.
it's not like I'm not ever chasing and it's not like, oh, I really want to see that at a show, but it's kind of like a pleasant
Right.
song.
But it's been consistent over the years. So, I mean, where
Yeah,
was that one that they went off northerly? Is that the one that they got all crazy that one year?
it sounds right. Don't know
Yeah.
though. Don't quote me on that. And then we got a Fire Cities. That was fun.
Yeah. Did you notice the last two nights there was a song in the middle that was like 16, 17 minutes? It was Stash last night and Cities tonight. Like they threw in this huge big song in the middle of the set or 2/3 of the way through.
Yeah, to fill it out a little bit so it's not too much of a just a set list show.
Right.
Um, yeah, I like it in this spot though, and it kind of starts to opening things up to get you set up for what have been two really great second sets.
Right. Is that the where they played American Woman for a little bit? One of those songs.
That was in Tweezer.
That was in Tweezer. Okay.
I'm pretty sure, unless there
Right.
were multiple teases, but when he
Right.
actually sang, it was
I
in
think
Tweezer.
okay, it was Tweezer, right?
And then passing through.
That was like
Okay,
another seamless. Casa
segue.
Vox dropped at the end of another song with the final hurrah the other night.
Yeah,
Was like seamless.
and then a really well executed fluff head to close out the first set.
And I was glad that they did it there. That's a good place to do it. It has that kind of vibe for the fluff head, like they did it in Nashville. It felt right in Nashville.
It's funny because this is when people started moaning and groaning online about what would be left for Dix, right? Because the Mike's groove and then Fluffhead, and then really when Tweezer in the second set, which we'll get to, it was like really pulling a lot of big hitters off the table. But I feel like people forget or aren't thinking about the magnitude of their catalog, right? Like literally,
there's going to be a huge Mercury in Denver. I'm pretty sure.
What do you think you think that's going to be the jam vehicle of the weekend?
All right. I don't know. I mean, there's Bowie still on the table and Antelope, but I guess they kind of hold their structure.
Could come back or
Simple
Cross-Eyed.
Cross-Eyed.
Those are great vehicles.
Right. Rock and Roll. I mean, they only did it. They did it that once as an encore in Hershey. That was short.
Yeah. Anyway, I want to keep us focused on this show. It's so easy. We're so excited. Right. We got big Dix energy right now. We're focused for it, but we got to stay focused here. Lizards was a little rocky, actually. I was about to say beautiful because it got there
right
solo, but it was a little bit rocky at parts.
That's probably why it's never opened a set before.
Yeah.
It's one that they need to already be loosened up when they go into it.
I chased Lizards for embarrassingly long time and amount of shows.
And you got it in Hershey.
No, I got my first one was at Baker's Dozen. But,
okay.
But yeah, now I have two. I love it. Probably my personal favorite, one of my personal favorite songs.
Right, another Gamehenge. So many Gamehenge songs.
Yeah, right?
There's like AC/DC Bag and Sloth and Possum, I guess, are the only ones left.
Yeah. And then they went into Tweezer. What did you think when they started? I was a little surprised that he went there, honestly. I was like, really? We're going here?
I guess I kind of expected it, the nod to Tahoe and them not being there. And
yeah, which felt just kind of situational, like a coincidence at first. But then when they started doing the stop-start jam and the woos and everything, then it really did feel like the opposite or inverse of the Tahoe Tweezer.
I wonder if the Tahoe Tweezer was longer. That one tonight was what, like 34 minutes?
Yeah, 34, 36. I don't know. The Tahoe Tweezer, I think, wasn't one that was renowned because of the length. It was how dense it was, right?
And the wooing.
And the wooing, but how many different themes they went through and how much they had going on, which was actually similar to this Tweezer, right? I felt like they went through some really cool movements. They had that melt jam towards the end, which was really dope.
And it sounded for a minute like it could be maybe Taste or something before they ended up in a song that is close to everyone's heart. I wish I didn't know why he wrote the song.
Oh, for Miss You?
Yes, because it ruins it for me. It makes it so personal. If it was just a love song called Miss You, it'd be
that was his sister, right?
Yeah, he wrote it about his sister when she died. So the whole time I'm thinking about this poor guy, his sister died.
He had to, though, because otherwise I don't know if people would like it.
Right. It might have been the death nail, huh? So to speak. But Miss You was standard, and then they went into, I guess.
Wait. But I don't want to get out of this Tweezer yet because I want to be a little critical here for a minute. I go, everybody's high on like recency bias, but I felt like that was a really weak way to end a jam. And I get it's not really a ripcord, right? It's the dying down and letting it simmer out, and then Trey just bringing in something. I don't know. I guess it's because we've had so many strong conclusions and climaxes to jams this tour.
Right.
That this Tweezer was kind of a really weak ending to it, I think.
Right. Tweezer has had a history of that, though. Like a lot of the early, like mid-90s Tweezers, like went into Lifeboy. I think it's gone into Lifeboy more than any other song.
Oh, yeah.
So in Trey's mind, I think he thinks like that. All right, we're going to do this huge jam, and then we can wind it down, and I can drop in a meaningful song is what I like to call them, because they aren't all ballads, but
yeah, no, that's a good point. And I guess maybe it's a conscious thing. It just feels like sometimes they have a well-constructed deconstruction, if that makes sense. And then other times it feels like there's a lot of tension and Phish is still trying to drive it one way. And
We could have
No.
left out the Miss You and just gone right into a nice long Piper.
That would have been perfect. And then yeah, the Piper was really fun.
Yes, it was respectable.
It's a good Piper, not slow build,
Yeah,
but good.
yeah.
And then 20 years later,
Which it's grown on me, I guess,
Yeah.
over time. I can appreciate the conceit, the idea of the lyric and the looking back.
sure. Yeah, I
Eh,
agree. And then Twist, which is fun, and Numberline,
yeah.
and that ended the second set.
And Numberline was, I really don't get the whole, everybody got their panties in a bunch after AC when they did it for the
Yeah, I did
encore. And
too.
I'm like, it's okay. It is
You
what it
could-
is. It's a catchy tune, and it isn't going to be anything more than it is.
You
Ever.
can tell a lot about fans and like when they got into the band and when they saw the most shows based on the songs they bitched the most about, right? Like there's fans that would bitch about like Bouncing or Prince Caspian was another one that fit that mold, and more recently like newer fans that was like the Soul series, right? Soul Planet and Set Your Soul Free. But Numberline was the song in 09 and 10 when the band came back. And a lot of people that had seen them even earlier, really committed to seeing a lot of shows because they were starved for it. And it felt like every other show got
Numberline, right?
So I think that's why there's so much Numberline.
The line suffered that problem after Fuego because they kind of drove it into the ground,
right? And then and it had that through thread of Numberline line. So.
Right. I think they've always been like that, though.
Yeah,
you write a new song and you're just so proud of it. You're like, I want everybody to hear my new song. Yeah, but Trey, it's the same people every night.
Well, now what he does though is he puts insanely great jams at the end of them, so you're forced to. He did that a lot with like Everything's Right and Set Your Soul Free and Mercury,
Soul Planet.
and then just last night with Soul Planet, it's the exact same thing. And now you have to like listen to that song,
right?
Like Soul Planet may win the 4.0 jam bracket.
It might, but I hear a lot of people talking Tweezer AC.
Is it Tweezer AC?
Yeah.
Alpharetta Tweezer is also up there.
It is, but I think that Tweezer AC because there were so many people there. There was a bigger crowd.
Yeah, well, that's the East Coast thing.
Yeah. So, and then our encore was Life Beyond the Dream, which I think we knew was coming.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Tweezer reprise. I want Susan Tedeschi. I want Trey to say, Susan, this song is yours. Only you sing it from now on.
What was that, Lock-In?
Yes.
Yeah, phenomenal.
I mean, she owned that lyric. I mean, she sang it better than Trey did. She just found these other little nuances. I don't know. It's cool.
The ACM, we're talking about these jams. That's a perfect example of a jammer song overshadowing a Mike's groove, right? How we were talking about how the grooves have been solid but under the radar.
Right.
The AC night, it was that was a great example of something that just completely overshadowed that.
Right.
Yeah, and then after Life Beyond the Dream, we got the reprise, which I guess there's been so many recently that have been split over nights that it was both cool and I was caught off guard that I forgot that it was the last night.
Right. Yeah, because usually they do. We'll open this, run with it and close.
Yeah.
Bookend kind of thing.
So
very nice.
I guess we'll take a quick moment for do the admin side of it, the housekeeping. If you have not already, please like this video and subscribe to the channel, and tell your buddies to come over and like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 by Dick's weekend this weekend. So
48 hours.
Yeah. So please help us support the channel. No ads. We do it all for free. And then the other thing is join us this weekend. We'll be on Dick's Lot
Saturday.
Yeah, we'll talk about Friday Night Dicks. We'll speculate for the remainder. We'll shoot the
And
shit.
this show will not exist anymore until tour starts and again in the fall.
Right, but we're gonna have the Wookiee Awards coming up on the 22nd, I think, or no,
Who will be the new
the
Waddy?
15th.
I think we're
Who
gonna have
will be
trouble
the
getting
Waddy?
it from Skoy. Skoy's not gonna want to give it up that easy.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to tune in and find out. And then Wook plus Live is going to return. So we got a lot of shit coming up. Best point being, subscribe. All right, Kevin, I'm tired of shit and I got to pack. We got to hit the road tomorrow. So you want to end this?
We'll see you guys soon. We'll see you all out there.
Bye.